We're live, Mensch.
Here we go.
You good?
I'm great, man.
All right, even better than the normal good. All right, here's the situation. 7-point game. We love coming on. Breaking into the game. We wanted to be on a few minutes earlier. First week. Playing through some things. My link wasn't working. Who cares? 3:22 left. 17-10 LSU. LSU just got the ball back. It's interesting. Conor Nevins asked us an interesting question. Who would you rather have in this situation? Late game. Coaching staff and quarterback. I said I'm happy with either of these guys, Cade Klubnik or Garrett Nussmeier, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I would be better late game considering like everything that's gone on in this game and LSU's history in week ones and some of the penalties in this game and the fact that they've not been able to close out games, that I feel more comfortable with Clemson's staff and Clemson's organization, if you will. But then I started thinking to myself, with Antonio Williams out of this game, I think I just feel like there's more juice in the LSU offense. So here we are. It was a good question. Figured I'd start this whole thing with it. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, but Nussmeier so far. Go ahead. You answer your thoughts on that first.
You make all good points. If we're going off just this game too, which I think you would have to when you're talking about this group specifically, the LSU offensive line is playing out of its mind. I mean, the LSU offensive line is, I'm stunned with how well they've played tonight. And I think it's actually played better than the Clemson group. This has been a tale of two halves, right?
Yep.
I think that, the halftime adjustment that LSU made in terms of keeping Klubnik in the pocket has been a real difference maker in this game. But I think I am impressed with that LSU front.
I am too, but you know what else I am? You go to the Manning Passing Academy and you watch some of those guys throw. You watch the tape of like Lenora Sellers. You watch the mobility of Klubnik. You watch some of these other guys and the special traits that they have. And it's kind of like pre-draft, right?
Yeah.
The further you get away from the tape, the more influenced you can become. Mm-hmm. Then you get into a game situation. Here's what makes, and I want to make this perfectly clear, as we're watching Nussmeier right now with the ball, 2:35. They're up 17-10. It's 3rd and 11.
Here we go.
Let's watch this play first. We have all night long to talk about Nussmeier and what makes him special. And if you're watching, like I've got YouTube TV, I don't know what Mensch is watching, probably basic cable up in Derry, New Hampshire. You're probably ahead of us behind this.
I'm a couple seconds ahead of you.
All right, so they dumped it off to the back. Safe play to Durham. They're going to run this clock down. Clemson's got one timeout left. It doesn't appear the college football, the 2-minute timeout now.
Right.
So they'll run it down the 2-minute timeout. So here's what we wanted.
This is everything you wanted. Everything you wanted.
I said early in the week, it's going to be Nussmeier driving them down, scoring. I didn't think it was going to be early in the fourth quarter, but it was. Little back and forth. QB1 versus QB2. I've got Klubnik QB1 because I think the physical tools are slightly better than Nussmeier. Nussmeier, though, my point I was about to make, this dude is so special. Garrett Nussmeier is so special, managing, sensing, feeling, and dictating pressure. It's his special sauce. If you really watch him in this game, and I can't wait tomorrow on Sunday to go back and watch the coach copy tape, all 22 and the tight copy. What makes him special, man, I still have the volume on, you probably hear it in the background, is the fact that he doesn't have to be the fastest. He doesn't have to have the strongest arm. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He senses it. He's never, like I talked about Jackson Dart and some of the things I loved about him, kind of everything calms down when the pressure builds up. And it's the same thing with him. And I saw that and I was like, that's the same thing with Josh Allen, some of the great ones, right? He's got that innate ability, and it's maybe because he's been around the game of football his whole life. His dad's a quarterback in the NFL, quarterback coach. Now he's the offensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints. Don't know how that's going to go for the Saints this year. They named Rattler the starting quarterback. But my point in all of this is the wide receivers weren't stepping up. The run game is not a championship level. I don't think for either of these programs tonight. But we can get to all this as we recap the day. But my point is, like, with everything on the line, his ability to distribute the ball and handle pressure, tangible pressure like pass rushers in his face, and then pressure of moments. How about that throw he made? Best throw of the night. Maybe the best throw I've seen in college football the entire first week, dating back to week 0. Was, I thought, a terrible call by the referees. You didn't think it was.
I did. I was just messing with you.
Bill LeMonnier's on my side, but Bill can be up and down on this, and I love Bill.
That's a catch all day. That's a catch all day.
It was, right? He dropped it that right, like it was a teardrop.
If it looks like a catch,
right in the bucket down the
like
right sideline. Was it Barry and Brown? Get this hair.
Yeah.
Me crazy. Barry and Brown, right? The Kentucky transfer.
Unbelievable play. Great release. Great track. I mean, just reward.
But the ball couldn't have been put in a more perfect spot.
The placement was perfect, and then we're going to call that an incomplete pass. I mean,
and then they missed the field goal.
You're right. Kid cramped up as he was going through. Yeah,
they got nothing for it. So this game would be over.
But you're right. That was the best throw of the night. That was maybe one of the best throws I've seen all weekend so far.
So it's
how do we not reward? How do you not reward 2 college kids for making that kind of play? Like, I just don't get it. I get we've just gotten so crazy with what's a catch and what's not a catch. And it's been years of this now.
Yeah, Barry and Brown.
Where are you?
And it was an SEC crew, by the way. But I mean, like, could it be any better? At home, LSU's punting the ball. 2 minutes left. You're in your death valley if you're Clemson. You've got your quarterback in Cade Klubnik. Doesn't have Antonio Williams. But so
doesn't
what?
have him all night. Yeah.
Time to step up.
Feels like the SEC needs this one, man. Feels like they need one.
There we go. Oh my gosh.
I know. Already early. I feel like they need one.
I know. We'll get to Alabama in a little bit.
Just saying. If the SEC is so great, come on, man.
They're showing Antonio Williams on the broadcast right now. As they do. This is the best crew in the business. I'm not even, I love Kirk, and I love Chris, and I've worked with them a lot. But I'm talking like the production crew, the camera people, the people inside the truck. Just knowing the moment. There's nobody better in the business than these guys. But you get the ball on the 43-yard line.
I'm a couple seconds before. It's so hard not to tell you what's happening.
Oh, you are?
Which, by the way, this is a little bit of payback, because if you remember Captain Jack's strip sack for the touchdown, I was a couple seconds behind you. Yeah. And you're like, you're not going to believe what's about to happen here, Muench.
Well, there's an incompletion in the first play.
Mm-hmm.
Which you knew.
I'm not giving anything away.
Well, yeah, there are like FCC laws against us at doing play-by-play.
This game is not disappointed from the quarterbacks, in my opinion. I know it's not high scoring. I know it's not high scoring. We'll be interested to do the deep dive tomorrow. We can talk about that more, about the nitty gritty of it all. But on face value, I've not been disappointed.
Nussmeier has outplayed Klubnik slightly.
I didn't think so in the first half, but overall,
no, not in the first. Overall, I think Nussmeier has, like, when he settled down, how he settled down, the way he distributed, the pressure he was dealing with. Nussmeier has been the better quarterback tonight. But like, Klubnik's been good, and it don't matter if Klubnik drives him down and scores here.
Where are you?
Okay. All right. So we've had 2 completions now. You're ahead of me. I know we are. I'm at 134.
Set the table again, though. Yeah, I'm at 134.
Minute 34. Klubnik he's holding his helmet. He's getting the call in from the sideline. 17-10 LSU, fourth quarter. They've got 2 completions now. One was a great throw under pressure, arm hit to his right side. Second one was an easier throw, run after catch. They now have the ball on the 21-yard line, completed for a short gain. Looked like the tight end, but I'm not sure who it is. Yeah, 87. All right. So now second down and let's call it 7. Second and 7 about. Yep.
He's not pressing, which I like. He's letting his guys make some plays after the catch. He's not pressing. He's not forcing the ball downfield.
All right. So now we get to take a deep breath. There's 1:08 left. He went out about. He caught the ball. Receiver caught the ball. Underneath throw. It's going to be about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, I'd guess. But the clock stops. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, the beauty is it's the best game so far of all of college football.
Yep.
You knew it already, huh? Incomplete pass on 3rd down. So it sets up a 4th and 4. Fired it a little bit high, a little out of the receiver's reach. Oh, heart's pounding. You get defensive coordinator Baker.
Here we go. There's a timeout coming up, just so you know.
Okay, timeout. All right. So, I mean, would you rather Nussmeier in that offense in this situation, 4th and 4?
No, it's just like Klubnik's. They have shut down Klubnik's feet in the second half. I was just going to say, I still like it. It could just show up here, right?
It could just show up. I got to be honest, man. This LSU defense is better than I thought, and I went on a rant about LSU's defense and what I thought it could be. Remember, you were like, we talked about it sucked 2 years ago. Baker comes in as the D coordinator. I was like, they made a significant improvement. You're like, yeah, but they were just they were middling last year at best.
Yeah.
41 tackles.
I stand by that,
has made 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Mansour has been freaking awesome. Mansour Delane
has been awesome. Yep.
Huge play in the 4th quarter, batting the ball down. Had an interception. Did some really good things in coverage. Comes a Virginia Tech transfer. This guy's a dude.
Yep.
Perkins in that star role. Early in the game, they had to call a timeout because he was – all right, here we go. You're probably ahead of me. But Harold Perkins has been awesome. Oh, no. Why you're staring at me? Weeks has had some big plays. There's Nuss, man. What'd I tell you about that cat?
Yeah. Got some big ones.
Big ones. On the road. Look at Harold Perkins. Look at him. He spied him. He spied him.
Yep, and he did it a lot in the second half. And weeks in Perkins were just massive and not letting.
But in that role, that roaming role,
yeah,
in coverage against tight ends, spying quarterbacks, rushing the quarterback. I told my sources at LSU have gotten a lot better from the Jamarcus Russell days, man. I told you, like they were raving. And Klubnik, he knows. He's owning it. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. We walked away from Ohio State, Texas, and there was some ick. You walked away from Florida State, Alabama, and you're like, how good's anyone?
Right.
And is this really just all that Alabama can be, or is this just a first, I know two teams definitively are legit top 10 teams in this country, and it's these two.
Okay. You don't think Ohio State?
Oh, no. I'm not saying Ohio State isn't. I'm saying, like, this is the first game where I'm like, both these teams are really freaking good.
Okay.
And I'm sure of it. And it didn't, like, the result didn't matter.
Yeah. I get what you're saying about that Ohio State Texas game.
We'll come back to that in a minute. But yeah.
I think we'll look back at that and be like, these two teams are really good.
I know both those teams.
Yeah.
But it still felt that I still felt ick. I don't feel ick for this game. I don't feel like.
No ick.
No, I don't have a major, like, glaring.
Even though it's 17-10, low scoring, man, for these two, awesome quarterbacks.
The reason I like LSU, even, like, remember what the first thing I said when we came and we're doing the power rankings, right? The last 10 days or so, we've done power rankings leading up to the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I legitimately believe, bottom of my heart, if they come together and play the way I think they can, and some of the portal guys work out, I legitimately think LSU could play for the national title.
Yeah, I think you're right now. I wasn't sure about it then. I hear what you're saying now.
But my questions were the run game, which has not been answered, but the defense, and I'm not saying it's answered for the whole season, but you can't ask for much better of a showing from that LSU defense than 10 points against Klubnik in that offense.
No, that was
veteran offensive line.
They shut Clemson out in the second half. They came out and said, look, you're really hurting us with that run. You're hurting us with your feet. And by the way, Brian Kelly said it before the game. In his pregame interview, he said, we want to keep Klubnik in the pocket. If we keep him in the pocket, we feel better about it. And Klubnik was extending all these plays with his feet in the first half. And they were like, and Baker said, no. The defensive coordinator said, no, we're not doing that anymore. You're not getting outside. But I've got this guy named Harold Perkins who is just going to shadow your quarterback, and it's not going to be an issue anymore. I'm encouraged by the LSU running game after tonight. I'm surprised you aren't.
Tell me why. I'm not saying I'm not.
Well,
go ahead.
One, I thought that defensive front, again, I just thought that defensive front was going to control. I thought Parker for Clemson tonight was awesome. I did not see enough of Peter Woods, who's supposed to be all-world.
I didn't either.
Now, we'll go back and see why that is. It's sometimes hard to gauge why.
I mean, he was second on the team with tackles when I looked early in the fourth quarter.
Okay. I just didn't see him making impact plays. Parker, I didn't either. Parker was a force. He had the bad penalty, but other than that, I thought he played a really strong game. The reason I'm encouraged is that defensive front from Clemson, I think, is good. I think it's going to be very good. And Caden Durham went 17 carries for 74 yards, 4.4 yards per carry. I'll take it, man. He was, it was a competent running game tonight. Was it great? No, it wasn't what you would maybe call a championship, but it was a lot better than I remember it being last year. I thought
you're right.
A lot more balanced. I mean, they had 39 passing attempts and 31 rushing attempts tonight. That's a big difference than Nussmeier just airing it out all night. So to me, I thought that was a step in the right direction. I'm just looking at these numbers now. That's why I'm rattling them off. Do you know what Klubnik finished with?
Passing?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't great. 19 to 38.
Yeah. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Felt like a better night for him.
Yeah.
But the second half, again, that LSU made the better adjustments. They went in and made the better adjustments about what they needed to do, even on the offense too. I mean, defensively, it's obvious what they did. And then on offense, I thought they got some of their screen game, some of their quick hitters going. It really got that offense rolling. They found a way to get the ball in Anderson's hands, the slot receiver, who, Aaron Anderson, the guy they've added all these guys around him, and they're all great. And the tight end trade has Green, and the red zone's great. I think Bauer Sharp's going to be a good player for them. All of those are nice, but Aaron Anderson's the guy. And he may not be the guy that they've had in the past who's that elite outside dude, but he's the dude when you need a play. Aaron Anderson's going to make a play for you, find a way to get him the ball, and they'll do something after the catch with it. So I was impressed with the way LSU, the way the coaching staff handled it tonight.
I don't disagree. It turned out to be a much more complete game than what I thought in the first. Like the first half I was going through. First of all, We've got almost 500 people or 500 messages or 500 people in the chat right now.
Awesome.
And like, let's just stop down real quick. Game's over. Thanks for being here. This is week 1. Didn't like promote it a lot. You guys aren't used to this. We're going to be here every week. Okay. And we're just going to grow this thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Every single, after the primetime game, this is where you're going to be. This is where we're going to be for sure. Contractually, I guess. Or just, we made our own decisions. We promised it. We'll deliver.
I might be here anyways. Yeah.
But this is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like week 1, QB1, QB2, Clemson, LSU. Got a lot to talk about. And like, just look at like Garrett Fitzgerald. The boys are back in town. You're right about that, man. Nussmeier reminds me of Romo. Get out of here, Pepper Squad. I guess, is that a positive or negative? I don't know.
I like Romo. I think that might be a positive, man.
Yeah, but Nussmeier is going to win games late and do things that I think plagued Romo's career.
Okay.
Nuss Bus. We got all these people. I like what's going on. So thank you for being here. Keep it coming. I'll check the chat as we go, and we'll keep you involved. I was watching this game, right? And LSU, it started out, and I'm like, here we go again. You see the 1-0 t-shirts coming in today in warm-ups?
No, they have 1-0 t-shirts.
1-0. Like, that's been the offseason focus. And when you set a focus in the offseason, you come out and you play the way you did in the first half, that thing can backfire on you.
Yeah.
They're practicing at night. They're changing their routine. They're going team. They're doing a lot of different things because they had to get
all
out
the chips in the middle. Yeah.
Kind of like the Bengals, right? Playing their starters late. It was the second or third preseason game. Late in the game, you got your franchise running around taking big hits. Joe Burrow, like things you don't want happening, but it's because of a mindset that you're trying to establish. Same was going on with LSU this offseason. So they come out in the first half, and I'm just right, mistakes, early penalties, fumble on second possession, 2 timeouts in the first 6 minutes of the game. This did not appear to be a team that was that dialed in and had that emphasis in the offseason that this was the game. Had to have this, okay?
Think about how the first half ended. They throw that quick hitter to Chris Hilton, and he on 4th down, and they get no points. They fumble. I mean, Clemson goes into the halftime with all of the momentum in the world.
Yeah, it was 4th and 2 before the half. Yeah, from the 12-yard line. They pass on the field goal. I kind of like Brian. Like, it's still the mentality is. And by the way,
but the execution sucked. I love the mentality. The execution sucked.
I like and I wanted to blame it on the coaching staff and the offensive play. That was Nuss, man. He checked out of the play.
Yeah.
In that crowd, that end zone, noise, had the onions, been around this game, trusted himself. Wasn't the right call, especially when he moved his back over to the right and he had all those orange jerseys. It happened fast. It was loud. But there was a confidence level about, I'm in control. Yeah, I messed up. But let's come back in the second half, and we got these guys. It's all right. We scored 3 in the first half. We're going to get this thing rolling. I thought in the second half that they were just trying desperately to find someone that could do something with the ball in their hands in the first half. It didn't seem LSU.
Okay.
Then I thought it was that 39-yard catch from Aaron Anderson early in the third quarter. They kind of like, all right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, and then Aaron Anderson had another catch, right? That was kind of the moment where it felt like the adjustments they made, the talk they had at halftime. Now they're going out and proving what they're saying, and from that point on, LSU was in control of that game, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
There's been a lot of talk about play callers this week, obviously because of Brian Hartline becoming the play caller for Ohio State, and it was something I was watching all day today. And with Sark and whoever, name one of these coordinators, and it's so fascinating to me that when they get into a rhythm, when they start to feel it, you can tell the play callers are starting to feel it with the way, and you can tell at LSU they were starting to feel it with some of the things that they were doing, whereas other teams were struggling. And you got to create more opportunities for yourself to kind of probe defenses. If you're getting 3-and-outs, 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 you're not getting a good feel for what kind of defense they're going to throw at your 2-by-1 looks or whatever you want to talk about, whatever your personnel is, whatever your formations are. You're probing defenses, and if you're constantly 3-and-out, you're not getting a good feel for, okay, when we come back to this look, they took this away, but we know we have this if we get that same look again. And so it's just fascinating to me. Like, you have to get into a rhythm, you got to get going, and you have to create more opportunities for yourself. And it's difficult when you don't.
Defensively, then, on for Clemson, we talked about it. I thought Sammy Brown was awesome in everywhere.
Mm-hmm. From the jump.
Right from the jump. Woods was underwhelming. Let's watch the tape. Parker, some pressures. He had that one big penalty.
What'd you think about that, by the way?
I thought it was warranted, but unfortunate.
It was a little closer. I kind of leaned towards the same way as you, but I felt like they were making it sound like it was egregious, and it didn't feel egregious to me.
No,
it felt like Klubnik. I mean, not Klubnik. I'm sorry. Nussmeier got bumped towards him, and he kind of took a little bit of a liberty with a little extra shot at the end. I also thought Nuss did a little bit of an acting job. I didn't think it was as egregious as some other late hits I've seen.
I agree with that. What I liked about one of the things I liked about TJ Parker in this game as a potential top 10 prospect, the motor chasing from behind. LSU did a nice job of when they moved the pocket, it was away from him, and he was barreling down on Nussmeier. And it wasn't just that play. Run defense was pretty good throughout the night, especially at first 2.5 quarters.
I agree.
And even Avion Terrell had that forced fumble.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, with the exception of Woods, who I think was really good versus the run, but just didn't have the impact plays that we saw that we were hoping to see from him in the first game in pass as a pass rusher. I thought the defense showed up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, they only put up 17, man. It's not like LSU was running up and down the field.
No.
So,
yeah, I thought it really. All right. Flip side, I thought it really hurt not having Antonio Williams.
Yeah.
For when you look at. But here's the thing with Clemson. I remember. I'm just going back to my notes. This was supposed to be the thing. Antonio Williams, TJ Moore. TJ Moore had a good night. Do you have his numbers there? He had a good night. Wesco
had 4 for 55. Wesco 4 for 60, 4 for 66. Tyler Brown 4 for 43. I mean, they were all kind of middling. You know what I mean? They were all okay.
That Southeast Missouri transfer, Tristan Smith, 78 catches, FCS level last year. Didn't see much of him.
Nope.
I thought this receiver group was gonna. I keep waiting for Wesco to explode.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the bottom line is this is Antonio Williams. He's the star.
Right.
And the other guys are really good in their roles. But you got to have your star. And I thought that was absolutely missed and noticeable tonight.
That could change over the course of the season, but it's clear that that's how it is right now. I mean, Wesco's got more than enough talent to turn into that kind of a guy, but if you were expecting it tonight, it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. There was a couple times I thought him tracking the ball, he made it more difficult to come down with the catch with the way he was positioning his body. He wasn't tracking it as well as he could have. I mean, there's just these little things. I thought the one where you said that Klubnik was a little too far on the third down catch, I thought that Wesco should have had that. So, I mean, just not quite there yet. All the talent in the world, but you're right. Antonio Williams, when you need to play, all these other guys, Barry and Brown made some great plays tonight for LSU. But when they needed it, it was Aaron Anderson. And when you need it, when you're Clemson, it's Antonio Williams. And they just didn't have him.
The run game was the big question coming in. Does it for Clemson? Does this team possess championship caliber run game? You remember last year showed up in big moments, completely outrushed and lost to South Carolina and Texas.
Yep.
Adam Randall was their leading ball carrier, excluding Cade Klubnik, who technically had 8 carries for 1 yard. I'm talking pure runners. It was supposed to be Adam Randall, right?
Yep.
It was supposed to be. We never saw the freshman that I saw, Gideon Davidson.
Nope. He was on the field and they noticed him, but he blocked.
Eziamume, David Easy, as I call him. He had 3 carries. And the guy who was supposed to be there, like the load carrier, who they came in feeling confident about, the wide receiver, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Former wide receiver, Adam Randall.
Had the great touchdown run.
Yeah, but he had 5 carries for 16 yards, man.
And I'm trying to go through it right now, Todd. I don't think he carried the ball in the second half.
So
if he did, he had like 1 or 2. I mean, when you have 5, I mean,
it felt like LSU had the ball the entire second half.
It sure did.
So that's something, but I'll say this for Clemson. You get to now regroup. They're going to be favored in all other 11 games.
Right.
Georgia Tech, Louisville, South Carolina are on the road. But you got SMU at home. And by the way, that road trip I'm making down that I'm trying to get you to come. November 8th, Florida State.
Oof.
All of a sudden, that's a big game.
That's a huge game all of a sudden.
I thought it was going to be like, oh, that's going to be a tough game. Florida State's going to be better this year. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I think they're all right. I'm not.
No, I do too. I do too. I'm not either, but I'm saying it's not like they're jumping from this to like Florida, A&M, but you know, like this, like some of the other teams that we talked about leading up to the season.
And this is the roller coaster that every college football season is. You know, last year, I mean, Ohio State was done after the Michigan loss. It's just, you know, Notre Dame, no way they get to the final after losing to Northern Illinois. They lost to Northern Illinois. So, you know, there's a lot of football to be played. And these teams are built to get better, and they're built to compete at the end.
I've never seen a fly. I got a fly in my room, in my office. But I've never seen one who's like half dead.
I love how you play through adversity. You just push through.
Yeah, I'm just like if you're gonna sneak in off the porch and come into the studio / office and you're gonna be a fly, like I expect a little bit more fight out of you. I expect to hear the buzzing and like annoying me. It was just sitting on my papers. Anyway, most encouraging to me though, man, was, and I go back to it, that LSU defense.
Yeah, no, that's a
good group.
I liked Whit Weeks. Okay. I liked him tonight. I loved him. I mean,
remember his brother was the one who was healthy during camp and starring during camp. Whit shows up game time, man.
I mean, that play he made where Klubnik tried to take off and he came off the pass rush to wrap him up that would have gone for like 20 yards in the first half was an unbelievably athletic, smart, great play. I mean, it was just unbelievable play. I thought he was outstanding. And we were excited about Harold Perkins, and we should be excited about Harold Perkins. And we were excited about Delane, and we should be excited about Delane. I mean, it's that I wanted to see it.
Even Patrick Payton had a nice play early on.
It's great on paper until you see it, because I've thought LSU's had talent in the past and not had great defenses recently. And tonight they played like a really good defense.
Yeah, I'm encouraged. I'm really encouraged. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know where. I mean, LSU gets over that. They hadn't won since it was Georgia, Duke, Georgia. No, that's Clemson. LSU hadn't won since Joe Burrow.
In the opener, you mean?
Yeah. So Clemson's now lost 4 of their last 5 openers.
But LSU hadn't won an opener since Burrow, 2019. Is that right?
Yeah,
I
that
have
is
that
right.
wrong.
They haven't won 5. They haven't won in 5. They haven't won 3 under Kelly, and they hadn't won the 2 years before.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, that I remember that.
By the way, in a way, this is good, I think, for the way the playoff bracket could lay out, because LSU needed this win more than Clemson. Let's be honest.
I agree.
LSU's schedule is going to be so much tougher. There's a couple losses that you can just see popping up in there. Whereas if Clemson had won this game, LSU's margin for error was a lot smaller. So if you're wanting to get the most talented teams in there, I think this is actually good for the overall playoff picture.
Yeah. I don't disagree. LSU needed this more, considering their schedule, considering what they've got to deal with. I'm all over the place because there's so many more angles I want to go to. I think the most important takeaway, honestly, is when you got a guy like Nussmeier, everything calms down.
Yeah.
And he was up and down last year. And I hope physically he's able to not show some of the wear and tear that he did a year ago. I think he has a supporting cast. The run game is improved. The offensive line, big question, losing those guys to the NFL. Huge question coming into the year. Brian Kelly said definitively, like, I trust this group. I know a good offensive line, and this is a damn good offensive line. Even though they lost Will Campbell, 4th overall pick, Emory Jones, 3rd round pick, Garrett Dellinger. I mean, they lost 4 guys, and Miles Frazier. 4 guys to the NFL draft. And that group was pretty darn good tonight against a really good Clemson front. Okay? It's hard not to believe, but I also truly believe Clemson is one of the 10 best teams in the country. I think they can become one of the 5 or 6 best teams in the country come October. And I would not rule that team out from getting better and better as the season progresses, like they did at the end of last year, and playing for a national championship. I think we saw 2 teams tonight that are capable of making a run if they keep getting better and making a run and playing in the national championship game. I think that, to me, that's fair to say.
100%. I'm still high on Clemson.
All right. Now let's get to the rest of this.
Where do you want to start?
Texas, Ohio State. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get to it.
Yeah.
I just want to get it out of the way because I want to talk about the rest of the game. Okay. People suck, man.
Yes. People do suck.
People suck.
And
I don't even have to tell you, and you and I haven't spoken once today. We've been on a group chat, but not like talking to each other. Everyone loves to tear people down, and I get it. Arch didn't choose to be born into the Manning family, but certainly being born in the Manning family has allowed a path for him, both genetically and support staff and everything else that is needed to develop a young man into a quarterback at a high level is all there for the taking for Arch. I get it. I'm just going to be real with everyone here. Okay. Yeah, I'm close with his grandfather and I like his family and I was at the Manning Passing Academy and all that. But I think people have come to trust, I got no problem separating church from state. What I do have a problem with is the people in this industry, man. I got news for you. I watched the same game. I do have more perspective than a lot of these bozos out there because I'm better at our job and you're better at our job than a lot of those bozos out there too. And we're certainly better at what we do. And people come to us for real information because we're not trying to get people to click and do all that stuff. Okay. There's a real easy path to that. We can take it, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to do it the right way. But I'm watching the game today and I I see a couple things. I thought the training wheels were on and it was maddening. I thought Sark did a really bad job today. I thought Sark coached like Quinn Ewers with injuries last year. I thought it wasn't until they got behind and the pressure was on. And we saw this a couple times last year with Ewers in that Texas offense. It took them in an emergency situation. Arizona State being the most recent example, where it's like, we got to open it up. We got to get creative. We got to just take some chances. Got to take the training wheels off for that offense to start cooking a little. And so I think Sark was part of the problem today. And by the way, I don't even think you, Steve, know the level of respect I have, not only as a coach, but as a human being that I have for Sark. And it's okay, because you know what? You have sucked at your job some days. I have certainly sucked at my job. And Arch today, if we take his name off this thing and the expectations, it was still a less than desirable. I mean, you're the starting quarterback at Texas, okay? It was a less than desirable performance. 37% he was off target, was his percentage off target throws. And I saw the same thing. I didn't need the number to come up, and they're popping it everywhere on ESPN because it makes the analysis easier. He wasn't, not only on throws that he completed, I mean, not only throws were incompletions that he missed on, throws that were completions even. We talk about missing inside the strike zone. He was off target today a lot. I'll tell you what I am concerned about in a minute. What I'm not concerned about is, and I've said this for a while now, Steve, like I do this for a living. I've done this for 25 years. The biggest improvements I see in a quarterback, it's not from week 1 to week 2, like coaches always say. It's from week 1 to about week 4 or 5 in a season when you're a first-year starter. We can get into all the science and the methodology and all the reasons why, but you learn from your mistakes. You go into game 2 and you haven't repped it enough. Then you see it again. You make that same mistake again. Then you stop making that mistake. Whatever. It's a process. And so what we saw from Arch specifically is not what we're going to see from him in week 4 or week 5. So you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to come out and say he's a bust. He's terrible. Because everyone wants me to either say he's a bust and he sucks, or no, I'm not buying in. Hang on, be patient with Arch. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I even
a little early for the bus talk, man. When you go into Ohio State as your first start,
like I'm watching awful announcing today, and I think they've got a purpose too. We all have a purpose in this industry, and they've got a pretty good purpose. I think they keep a lot of people honest. I think some stuff's just really funny. I think some stuff they do is past the line, and that kind of sucks. But like, society sucks these days, probably always. But I can only speak for my generation and the generation, after me. You know what I could do? I could say, Steve and I had a podcast about Arch Manning. We talked about how he wasn't developed as a passer. And I told you so, like, he's not there yet. And I told you I didn't rank him in the 2026 draft class because I knew this could happen. I said, let's wait to 2027 because I knew he's going to come out and suck today. And you know what? I saw people do that. I actually saw people do that. Fuck it. I don't care. I saw Rodgers come out and do it. He played quarterback. His brother's one of the all-time quarterbacks, whether they have a relationship or I don't know. But to come out today and say, I told you so? Like, why? Does that make you feel good? I watched the same tape. You were actually a little bit harsher on him than I was, but we agreed on the same things. The mobility is a great asset. Well, guess what? The mobility was taken away today in part because Ohio State's defense is awesome again. Mm-hmm. And in part because I don't think that they had an aggressive enough approach. And every report I got from camp down in Austin was he's running, man. The QB run game is a big part of where was it today? So there's a lot of factors in here. And so to come out and do the I told you thing, makes you just as horrible, maybe more horrible.
We were talking about TV, by the way. How many of these guys have watched? I haven't watched it yet because I'm watching the other games.
That's the other part.
I'll tell you, we're going to have another show on Monday.
Yes.
And I will sit down with you and I will be level-headed and you will be level-headed and we'll say, here's what we saw. What we're not going to do is say that this kid sucks after watching TV tape, after him going into Ohio State. And honestly, what are we doing? You want to know what I'm mad about after that game? It's not about how Arch played. I'm mad about the goddamn quarterback sneak against that defensive front on 4th and goal, where you get no momentum. You have no momentum with your quarterback. Can we run downhill, please? Can we just get downhill and see if that works? Can we try something other than a quarterback sneak in that situation? They don't act like Arch played so poorly that Texas didn't have a chance today, because that wasn't the case. I thought the difference in the game today was Brian Hartline clearly knows how to call a game. I thought he was outstanding today, and it helps when you have Jeremiah Smith. And that's the second thing, is Jeremiah Smith. Now, you could talk about the Ohio State defense. I would counter by saying that Texas defense is pretty damn good too, and held you only to 14, even though their offense was struggling too. There's a lot of things at play. To me, Jeremiah Smith and Brian Hartline were the difference in this game. Yes, Arch didn't play well. I didn't expect him to play well in Columbus for his first start. We'll see where he is at the end of the year.
But here's the difference, and here's where I'm willing to go. Here's where I'm willing to go, because and it's not because I care about my media standing and I have to have a strong take to get on a show or for people to run this clip somewhere else. I couldn't care less.
You shouldn't.
But I do want to make this perfectly clear. Arch Manning did suck today.
He was not good.
He was not good.
Not good.
And if you want to drill down before I watch the coach copy tape and what I know I can tell you, I am concerned about one thing. In this moment, I am concerned that he is a Manning and his uncles are Peyton and Eli, and he's had every resource, including a college level coach, come and be his offensive coordinator in high school. If my son can go to decent camps in Massachusetts to work on his footwork and throw accurately short and intermediate to open receivers, a Manning with that talent level, with those resources at this point in his career, can't miss some of the throws he missed today. And so without watching the coach copy tape and going back, I'm not going to sit here and lie about it and sugarcoat it. And I get news for you. Arch is watching the tape and he's banging his head against the desk and he's pounding his fist and he's pissed off at himself. But if I want to raise an initial concern, that young man should not be missing those throws. Some of those throws, not all of them. There's a handful that I looked at today and I was like, that concerns me. And that's fair. Now, now in week 2,
no one's saying that
week 4, and by week 10 as a starter, if he's still missing those throws, now it's a problem. Now it's part of his evaluation. Now it's who he is. And now you start asking the questions. Can he fix that? Can that be corrected? Right. But Josh Allen was missing a lot of throws. Mm-hmm. And at that time, there hadn't been many examples of guys who came in the league and got more accurate as a passer. But then all of a sudden Lamar Jackson did, and Josh Allen did, and then Jalen Hurts did, and a lot of guys did because they had the mobility. But what was stripped of him today, by maybe the defense and certainly by some play calling stuff, was the mobility element of his game. That can't happen anymore.
Right.
That's on Sark. That's on the offensive staff. That's on Arch. So there's a lot of, for people to come out and do a 60-second clip of "I told you so."
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a reason.
It's absurd.
This one hits. I get it. You know what I do like?
And then people come out and be like, I don't have time for that. But if you want to have a conversation about, I'm concerned about that part. I'm also concerned that Sark is still coaching the way he did with Ewers.
All fair. We'll be
And yes,
fair.
and let's be fair with Sark. It is a first-year starter. It is in the shoe, and nobody but Michigan goes in and wins in that place. It ain't easy.
Right.
So there's a lot of factors here, but like they better get it figured out pretty soon, or else this is going to be a really disappointing season.
Okay, you know what I like?
What?
San Jose State at home, UTEP at home, Sam Houston at home for their next 3 games, then a bye, and then they go to Florida. So they've got time now to, hey, look, didn't go the way we wanted it to go. This is what we need to work out on. You've been kind of punched in the mouth a little bit. Let's go back, regroup, catch our breath. I think that gives them I think the schedule now gives them a chance, and they better make the most of it, man, because then it's at Florida and then Oklahoma. So you better make the most of it. But they do have an opportunity here to regroup, fix. They have some tape to look at now and say, here's where we're off. This has got to get fixed immediately. But yeah, I'm not saying when I'm saying we're going to go back and look at it and have a different conversation, I'm not. I want to be clear. I'm at no point am I pretending that I walked away from that thinking, well, maybe this is better than we think when I get to the tape.
No,
I want to be specific about.
No, it was bad.
Right. We'll be specific about what our criticisms are. Not, I told you he was trash or whatever these people want to say. Like that's a pointless conversation to me. That's not something I'm interested in.
And so we'll come back on Monday and we'll drill in with some more details on it. But I can say this, it's that part of it was concerning for me. Some of it I can write off to at Ohio State. First game as a starter, whole off season, all the pressure, all those things. Offensive coordinator, maybe who's also the head coach, maybe trying to protect the young guy and in that road spot and all those things. I can write off some of it. I can't write off the portion I talked to you about. But can that be fixed?
See it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
And I don't even mind like the memes. I get like that's the crazy. I'm not even mad at the crazy people, right? I'm not mad at it. Just and I'm not even mad at Joe Fan. I hate that. Like it seems condescending. I'm not mad at the average fan who's like having fun drinking beers on a Saturday. Some of the shit's funny. I get it. Like I laughed and then I was like, oh, it's not like that's a human being. But like a couple of things. But like I'm talking about people who are paid to be professionals in this industry.
Yes.
And you got Jordan Rogers coming out to do a 60-second clip of I told you so. When like, yeah, I saw it too. I've been doing this a lot. I covered you in a game in college. I actually like the guy. I actually like Jordan, but like, I'm done not talking about who's doing stuff that I don't like. That's last season. I played nice last year. I'm done with that. So
nice.
No, I
Here
am.
we go.
I
can't wait.
actually
I can't wait.
You're going to see a whole new side of me, Mensch, because I'm getting too old and crusty for this stuff.
On the flip side,
don't make somebody's bad day your gain. But if you got something for me and you want to talk about it and you're ripping him, I just said he sucked today. I told you there's a part in there that I'm worried about that I hope gets erased, just like I would hope it got erased for Nuss, for Klubnik, for Lenoris, for all these guys. But like to get in first with the quick hit so I can get up on Monday morning so I can be part of a bigger show because it's my career. I'm not here for that anymore. All right.
The flip side, can I say?
Please.
I think Ohio State fans already knew this, but there had to be a little doubt. New coordinators, new quarterback, young quarterback, a rebuild.
Yeah.
You got a good squad again, man.
Oh
Ohio
my
State
gosh.
fans, buckle up. You're going for another run.
That's why I wanted to get Arch out of the way so that we can actually talk about this game.
Saying I thought it was encouraging in his first game. I don't want to anoint him and act like he had the best game ever either. I think that would be an overreaction to the other side just because he won. But it's encouraging. He had an encouraging performance. And I'll say this too. I'm already catching heat from some of our listeners on X, and I get it. That I keep underestimating the Ohio State offensive line and they just keep playing well. So that's going to continue this year. I'm going to look at them and be like, they're just not that good. And then they're just going to go out and win games. So that's probably going to happen again.
They played pretty good today. I do question.
In the run game, they
were
really good.
But I don't know how much juice they have at running back. If we're talking about a national championship.
I like Donaldson. He's not quite that guy. I hear you. but a pretty good squad. If you had all those fears and doubts coming in of maybe like some butterflies in your stomach, I know we're ranked high, but I mean, Chip's gone, and we got a new defense coordinator and rebuilt defense, rebuilt offensive line. Are we really going to be that good? It looks like they're going to be that good.
They held him to, and I know that's another like meme, and we can have all sorts of fun. But like every season's a new season, and the players are new players for a large percentage. Like Ohio State held Texas to 1 for 5 on 4th downs, and that was critical. It was absolutely critical. I do want to say this: absolutely great to see C.J. Baxter out there for Texas and doing his thing. And Sark wasn't lying when he said after that last scrimmage, and I watched him going 100%, and that knee brace was off. To see the juice he had in those legs again, to see him catching the ball. I think he had 5 or 6 catches today. CJ Baxter's, and I talked to a scout, like if this guy's back, I'm telling you, he's a top 100 draft pick. So, and I like that Livingston kid. I know he had the one drop, and it looked like he could have had a drop. I didn't really know much about him, the wide receiver. I think he's got a role in that offense.
Got to get Wingo more touches, man. You got to find a way to get Wingo the ball more.
Wingo and Wesco, they're the 2 frustrating guys from that class.
Yeah. Yep.
I keep wanting more from those 2 guys.
Get them the ball somehow.
But I did think it was interesting, if going back to Ohio State's offense now. While I thought the training wheels were on too much for Arch because his game is built on you got to let him be a playmaker and you got to let him make some mistakes in order to get the good from him as a young guy, and he'll have to figure it out on the fly. Sayin needed the training wheels on and played really well with them.
Yeah.
He seemed calm. It's what I had kept hearing about him. He's really smart, Todd. He's really smart. He understands his role in things. He knows how to protect the football. He's got, like, with a great team around him, he can, for a young guy, he can kind of manage this thing pretty well. That's what he did today.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't help him early on that the best receiver in the planet and maybe the best receiver in college football in the last, I don't know how many long years. We can have that debate another time. Had a couple drops early.
Those drops, I know he dropped the ball. He wasn't getting the first down on those plays. Like, it was,
but okay. Maybe one how about your boy Max Clare from Purdue?
That was a bad one.
Right through his hands.
You had to go right there, huh? Okay.
I'm just saying it didn't help for a young guy against a Texas defense in his first start with this new program and big time moment, all off season, all the pressure that's in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about like the Austin with that Dallas media and all that, like it is a bubble. And so to come out and all of a sudden I get Jeremiah Smith dropping a couple passes and I kind of maneuver around the pocket and I throw to the left. We got like 11 yards and we need to pick up 10. This tight end that we picked up from Purdue who's caught everything this fall camp. And he dropped and he kind of looked like that.
Yeah.
But he hung in there. And I never saw ups and downs with him, which is really encouraging. Right? And I think they'll keep kind of giving them more rope. And you see the talent. The run game was okay, but they stayed committed to it. Donaldson had 19 carries for 67 yards. James Peoples had 10 carries for 20, which is highly underwhelming, but that's still 29 carries. When you look at LSU and the numbers of carries, you look at Clemson and the few numbers of carries for their running backs, like they're clearly, and then pounding it on like short yardage, goal line, trusting that offensive line. There was just a lot of encouraging things.
I agree.
That Carno Tate double route, the double move.
Unbelievable. Guy had 2 catches the entire game, but I mean, what an impact he made.
2 for 49.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith, 6 for just 43. It's kind of weird, the two greatest receivers in the history of college football, right?
Yeah.
I had a note on this. I had the exact number.
For Ryan Williams and Jeremiah.
It was like 73 combined receiving yards today. Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith, but oh well.
Do you see the Texas running numbers? I mean, they were 37 carries for 166 yards. I mean, they ran the ball okay today. It's just when it matters, they can't come up with those fourth down plays. It's just, to me, it's wild, some of the play calling in that situation. You got to be able to figure that out, especially with a guy who can make a play. Like, get Arch out of the pocket, find a way to get him out of the pocket, and let him make a run pass decision. Why
they allowed him to a couple times, but it wasn't until like the third quarter.
It's like, what are we doing with these quarterback sneak? It just drove me nuts.
The best drive was the first drive of the second quarter. But then Arch got outside on the move, hit the run pass. That was like the only time in the first half, I should say, where I felt like they were starting to open it up and he was getting in a rhythm. They got him outside that run pass option, but it ended with that goal line stand.
Yeah.
With the quarterback sneak, which, by the way, he should have snuck it to the left side, and there seemed like a fire drill. Anytime they pan to the head coach who's the play caller, and he's looking around like someone else did something wrong, it's like,
yeah, what are we doing? I saw the exact same thing. Who are you looking at? And I don't know, maybe somewhere along the way, something got relayed incorrectly. I don't know, but it didn't look good. It's not a good look.
I like the Endries guy. A little bit I saw from him.
He's got a little bit of juice to him.
That's what I'm saying. A little bit of speed. So there were positives for Texas. And also I give Ohio State credit. 5 transfers to defensive tackle for Texas, new faces and bodies in there. They went after him early, but then I also give Texas credit. They kind of bowed their neck defensively.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Those were 2 heavyweights today, man.
Yeah, it wasn't the game I wanted. It didn't play out the way I wanted it to. You know, I wanted Arch to have this great game, and I wanted to see this back and forth, and I want to see Jeremiah Smith running up and down the field. Doesn't change the fact that these are 2 damn good football teams. And again, 2 football teams that the potential for growth. That's one of the flip sides of we were talking about all these new quarterbacks. Well, yeah, that's true. Where are these teams going to be, though? Who's going to be the team that gets better? Who are the teams that are going to get better? Because the potential for growth in Texas is outrageous. I mean, they could be a far better team. If these teams were to meet again in the playoff, they're going to look very different than they do today.
I completely agree. All right. It was very clear throughout college football from week 0 through this game and even in tonight's game. The defenses are always ahead of the offenses.
I wonder if that's more so now with all the portal stuff happening. I wonder if it's even more exaggerated.
Absolutely, it's more exaggerated.
Okay.
Except in Tallahassee. That son of a gun. Castellanos. What?
Yeah. Key difference for that one. And Clemson's.
Don't rain on my parade with
you. Bring in an experienced quarterback who's mobile. That's what I think the difference is there. You have an experienced guy who makes.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no, I know. I don't want to talk reason here. I want to talk about. About Tommy Castellanos for Heisman, man.
Talking trash all offseason. Yeah.
He was talking shit to Alabama. You ain't got Nick Saban to fix your problems and come save you. And to back it?
Yep.
And to come out in that first half and do what he did?
Yep.
You got to remember, they had a graphic today. Back to 1996 in the ACC, there's only been 5 guys who did what he did at Boston College. 2,000 passing, 1,000 rushing. 2 of those guys were Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
This guy's different, man. He was right up the street, the Heights, Boston College. Not a lot of talent there. Still was keeping them in games. Now you put them with Florida State, and they're clearly the portal money worked this year.
You know what else worked? Bringing in Gus Malzahn, who is an absolute wizard. A wizard in the run game.
With a mobile quarterback, it was like, oh, this is such a perfect fit. I mean, but watching all these other quarterbacks, and they're so good, and Nussmeier with the pressure, and Klubnik with some of the mobility stuff, but he was kind of bottled up, but making throws, and some of these other really good quarterbacks. And then I'm watching Florida State, and I'm like, oh, it looks so easy. Because that guy makes up for any other mistakes that are going on. And then the thing with Florida State was, on top of all the other problems they had last year, they didn't have chunk plays. They didn't have anybody who made big plays. This guy, Mekhi Danzy, is a receiver, but yet has 58 yards rushing and a touchdown on 2 carries. And then you get your running back, Jalen Lucas, who's 5'9", 173-pound lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
At the running back position, he doesn't really carry the ball, but he's got 2 catches for 66. They're intriguing, man.
They're very
Last
interesting.
year was a blip, it looks like. Mike Norvell's like, I tried to tell you.
Yeah.
We do this portal thing. Every LSU, go get your guys. Texas Tech, go get your guys. We do this portal thing. And last year we made a couple mistakes. And then when we started losing, we don't have a culture here because it hasn't been built over. But like a lot of programs are going to be like this moving forward. But Castellanos went from plus 5,000. Tucker asked our guys at FanDuel.
Yeah.
They always deliver plus 5,000 to end of game, plus 3,000, and get your money in.
Dude, I cannot stress enough the Malzahn Magic Show, though. I mean, he was at UCF last year, 5th best rushing offense in the country. Year before that, 5th best rushing offense in the country. Year before that, 9th best rushing offense in the country. You think about those Auburn offenses that he has. He knows how to, like, he is so creative with the run game. And you saw it, with those Danzy reverses and the way they were getting, all these guys, they were getting Lucas outside on these jet motions and it's a magic show. If you're a defender, you're watching this.
Look at my left hand. I'm trying to tell you a story with my
this
left
is
hand
over
while
there,
I just shove it up here with my right.
And then you try to be in position
hand
to make a tackle. And then they're like, we're very happy with getting, 10 yards every 3 plays. We don't need to break long runs. We just want to run. Like, we're just going to beat it out of you. 49 carries today, 49 rushes for 230 yards for Florida State today to beat the hell out of you. Now, the other thing that was a problem for Alabama today was they were beat up on the offensive line and the defensive line. No Tim Keenan today. Their best interior run stuffer isn't in the game. Did not play because of an ankle injury he had in practice. I mean, it was an avalanche for Alabama in this game. I'll say this, though, just about Florida State going forward a little bit quickly. I'm interested to see how good this defense really is, because I'm not sure how good this Alabama offense is. And they kind of were starting to make this a little closer than it should have really been. And Jeremy Bernard, your guy, my guy, your guy, 8 for 146 today. In terms of the 8 catches for 146 yards with Ty Simpson throwing in the ball. We'll see how good Florida State defense.
You're just going to gloss over Jeremy Bernard?
Unbelievable night.
Is everyone happy now? Like, because I'm getting all sorts of noise about Jeremy Bernard. He's a number 3. No, this guy's a player, man.
Yeah.
What's up with Ryan Williams?
I don't know. I did not see after the game. It didn't look good. And by the way, Isaiah Horton didn't.
No, I'm talking about the game.
Oh, he got a head injury, right? He got hurt.
Yes. Yeah. But when because it's
interesting.
He bulked up. He looks better. He looks more physical. Like last year, he looked like he was brittle. This year, he doesn't look early. I remember.
And then he came back in.
He wanted nothing going over the middle in contact, but maybe that
was weird too.
A byproduct of his head injury. Mm-hmm. And I did notice, and I thought to myself, he's acting a little funny on the sideline. He tried to check himself back in. They pulled him out.
Yep.
I saw that.
So if you look at that, I mean, it was for Alabama, it was again, an avalanche of problems, an avalanche of issues. But I mean, that's the one team, I'll be upfront about it. That's the one team I watched today, and I was like, oh shit, they're in trouble. Like, this team is in trouble. They have a real problem in Tuscaloosa.
I thought Kalen DeBoer was going to fix it to the point where I went out on a limb. I was like, I think Alabama can win the national championship.
I 100% was. I don't know about winning the national championship, but I thought this was going to be.
They missed Jam Miller a lot at running back, but I don't know if that's enough to solve these problems.
That offensive line, it is talented and it is inconsistent. Caden Proctor will drive you nuts, man. The left tackle, he will.
I'm excited to watch that. Yeah, I know. I'm excited to watch that. Go back and watch the tape on the Parker Brailsford Darrell Jackson matchup, because it felt like Darrell Jackson got the better of that thing. Not necessarily against Brailsford, but just clogging up the middle. Kevin Riley's the only back with juice for Alabama. I looked in the fourth quarter, Alabama, the Crimson Tide, with a first-year starting quarterback, was averaging 2 yards per carry.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
No.
And where are the receivers? Because Jeremy Bernard was awesome. Ryan Williams got injured, but remember, there was a lot of talk about Isaiah Horton comes in. He's going to be a third. He's actually going to be the X opposite Williams. Where is Horton injured? Did I miss something? I didn't.
He did in the very beginning of the game. He was on the bike, and I think he was very limited today.
And Richard Young, I didn't see much of him. The guy I did like was Rico Scott. He stepped up, great block, and then it gets paid off late in that drive with the touchdown. Great effort, pylon. They reviewed it, touchdown. You want truth serum?
Yeah, I do.
How do I phrase this not kindly, but just like the two SEC quarterbacks that came into the year, and I wonder, like, physical tools wise, passing, consistency, are they good enough to bring their elite programs where they expect to be? Ty Simpson at Alabama, and this is not going to be popular. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I hope Gunnar Stockton is good enough, smart enough, competitive enough, and I know he's great in all those areas. I don't know how advanced he is as a passer too. And I think some of those inconsistencies as a passer are going to show up at times, especially for a Georgia team now that has all these wide receivers. So that'll be interesting to see. And I'm not talking about, what they did today. I'm talking about like in the SEC. That's going to be interesting. But Ty Simpson, I thought he looked good. So did a great job.
He competed his ass off.
He did
his ass off.
And he got out of some trouble that he didn't create for himself. And he did some positive things. And like that first or second drive, I forget, looked really good. But I think he's one of those guys that's going to have, for a little while at least, going to have a lot going on around him. And if that line plays like it did, and the lack of a running game, it's concerning. I'm not saying Conor asked a good question. Are you more concerned about Alabama or encouraged about Florida State? That's the question he asked earlier in the day, and I wanted to ask you that.
I think I'm very excited for Florida State fans. I think I'm more concerned about Alabama coming out of this game. This is an Alabama team that had an ugly loss to Oklahoma last year. This now feels like it's something different than what I thought it was. I thought it was maybe Jalen Milroe wasn't the quarterback they needed. I thought maybe it was Kalen DeBoer's first year. Now I'm starting to think, oh no, this is more of an issue. This wasn't a blip. Those weren't blips. That wasn't, he needed a year to get his guys in and get the program right. I'm no longer, after today, I'm not feeling like that. After today, I don't think they get out of September without 2 losses. They played Georgia. Right now, if you get, and look, I know Georgia didn't play anyone really. I mean, they played Marshall.
Yeah. Georgia's good, though.
Georgia's good. And they're at Georgia for a night game. I don't think there's a lot of people who would disagree with me that Georgia should win that game. Now you have 2 losses. So now you're going later on in the season, you're going Tennessee at home, South Carolina away, LSU at home, Oklahoma at home. You going to win 3 out of 4 of those? I don't know, man. I don't know. And then you got a very tough Auburn team in the Iron Bowl that's going to look to finish you off. That it would make nothing happier than to end the Tide's run at this. They are in real trouble. And if they don't get healthy, I mean, Jaden Roberts, I don't think played at offensive guard or was limited today. If they don't get healthy in a hurry, because I don't think they're as deep as they've been in years past, I think this could get ugly fast.
I'm looking up Florida State's. I'm trying to decide myself.
I'm super happy for Florida State. I don't want to take the negative.
Well, you sound
here.
so condescending when you say it. I'm super happy for Florida State was on a national championship run. Like, stop with the happy thing.
No,
I'm happy
I will
for
tell
Florida
you this.
State. Oh, they have a good little team.
Castellanos,
I'm telling you, was the quarterback I'm most scared to play in college football after week 1, and it's just 1 week. I don't want to play that guy. That's a fucking nightmare. That guy's a nightmare. With a little structure, with Gus Malzahn, with some of those weapons that are running around, my wide receivers running the ball, my running backs catching the ball. Like, I get it. Now you get some time to prepare. You've seen it. And even in the second half, Alabama bottled them up a lot more, but they were also trying to run the ball, like run the clock out.
So let me be clear about what I'm saying here. 2 years ago, Florida State absolutely should have been in the playoff, and it's bullshit that they weren't. And I understand that the committee looked at it and they said Jordan Travis broke his leg. You're not the same team with that. I get all that. That defense was good enough. They deserved a shot at the playoff. They had played well enough with the way that was structured at the time. And so when I say I'm happy for them, I thought they got screwed 2 years ago. And then last year, the wheels just came off of their season. And if you're a Florida State fan, that must have been a dizzying experience to go from we might play for a national championship to we're not even going to get a chance to now it actually makes it look like the committee was right and we should never have had that chance because we're not that good of a program to now coming out and beating Alabama in the opener. I think that's great for the Florida State fan base. I love that.
I'm saying
I don't think they deserve like any kind of a sympathy vote. I just think it's cool that it's gone this way, because it was a shitty year last year.
I'm telling you, I won't be shocked at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I won't be shocked at all when we go down to Greenville and stay in Greenville with Marissa's family and the Perone's feeding us red sauce. It's November. We want like some pastas and stuff. Perone's Italian gourmet. And we venture over to Clemson. If Florida State's 8-0.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
That
means they beat Miami.
And I think they play Miami at home. Like, I think they're good enough to beat Miami. Do you know how crazy that would have sounded 24 hours ago? They were 2 touchdown dogs.
I actually would say that I feel comfortable saying that, not at worst, but it looks like they're going to be a one-loss team. I mean,
7-1 going into Clemson. Those two, that could be a 7-1 versus 7-1 if Clemson has that same amount of games. A 1-loss versus a 1-loss, or Florida State could be undefeated, the undefeated team that Clemson's looking up at the standings. I want you to understand that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, man.
But to answer my own question, which was stolen from Conor, I'm a little more nervous than I am.
You're such an asshole. You're such an asshole. You know that? This is so typical.
This one's both.
You want to call
this
me
one's
out
a classic overreaction.
For having the take, and then you want to have the same take.
It was the condescending way in which you did it. But I'm worried. I don't think you're if I don't that Georgia game's scary.
Yeah. And then the
if
rest
it ain't
of the
right by
scary.
Georgia. No, I know that, but if it ain't right for that Georgia game, but it might be.
Yeah.
They're talented enough. It might be, but something seems off. Something seemed really off today. All right. I got just a couple quick hitters for you, and we can get out of here. I will take some questions. Someone asked me a little bit ago. MLS Weech asked, and MLS Weech made a good point when we were talking about guys you're absolutely scared to death of playing at the quarterback position. And he's a big fan. We're big fans in the McShay household. Tate is obsessed with this guy, Jalen Daniels from Kansas.
Yeah, he look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he look good. Yeah, he's
when he's rolling, he's frightening.
How was Conor's guy today? How did he do? How was John Mateer from Oklahoma?
Well, I was going to say I've got some quick hitters.
Hit me. Did he do all right?
John Mateer, he's a heart attack, and even in game, like his mechanics are all over the place. He's slim.
You see him? Did you see it all today? He's flipping it. It's just oh god, it's so fun to watch.
It's amazing.
Just turn
24 of 31, 319. Oklahoma's like, okay, phew, because they're used to, they had that run with Baker and Kyler,
yeah,
and then to deal with that nonsense, and to now have we're back,
yeah, and also that. Are we going to be able to compete in the SEC? And we'll see more of that going forward. We'll see. But I think this team's going to be really good.
Really good.
Really good. I mean,
that's why I put him in the top 12.
30 for 37. 392 yards.
Oh, was it 30 for 30? Is that what he finished with? 300. What was it?
392 yards.
Oh, I thought he was out of the game, so I wrote down the stats. I'm like, they're winning.
Silly.
So he threw for almost 400 today.
Yes.
That's like a Joe Burrow stat line.
It's insane. And now it's Illinois State, but you can say whatever you want. That's still insane.
Penn State 46, Nevada 11. Aller was 22 of 26. Only encouraging because I saw something with like his knee brace on recently, and I just wanted to make sure he was okay. He looked really good. What I really cared about, two things, sort of with Dennis Sutton.
Yep.
He looked good though. The competition, obviously, with Nevada, but a couple of the plays I saw, like standing up.
I got a question about this on X.
Two forced fumbles.
I got a question about him on X and about how early he would be. And I have him just inside my top 50 right now. He's not Abdul Carter, but he's a damn good player. And I think he can move up a little bit. I think
that's fair.
Day 2 is good.
Again, against competition, not sure, but it was promising because sometimes you hear about these transfers and guys coming in and they look good in camp. And I just talked to you about a couple teams who were like, where are those receivers I kept hearing about?
Yeah.
And I got one didn't see the field, or he's on the bike, or he's this. But Kyron Hudson and Trevor Pena, I keep on wanting to call him Trebor, but it's like Trevor Pena had huge first games, man. So that's encouraging. Like what you're hearing,
very encouraging,
is what's going on the field against competition. But 13 catches, 173, and a touchdown combined. So,
right or wrong for them, it's going to be big games, and they look great today, but it's going to be like not good enough until they show they can win the big game, which sucks because just be happy that they played well today.
I didn't watch the Michigan game outside of a few plays.
No,
shout out to Deborah McShay, who is a much more reliable scout than Ryan Russillo is and tries to be every single year. My mom, she brought me in this earth. She's got an eye for talent. She really likes what she saw from Bryce Underwood.
Nice.
And she can be very hard on Michigan. She's a Michigan. My grandfather, Marshall Brown from Michigan, the whole thing. But a little bit excited. Then she got nervous, but then I guess he made a couple big throws. So I'm excited to watch some of that tape with Underwood. Because honestly, man, if he's as good as advertised, the talent's there. I'm excited to see Michigan. Like, what is Michigan this year? I think that's a massive question mark in the landscape.
Yes.
We know Penn State's going to be good. We now know Ohio State is freaking good.
Yep.
Is Michigan to the level?
Right. Be interesting.
Indiana. I want to see Indiana in a game that with Mendoza. But Tennessee, I watched some of that this morning around the noon kick. Basically commercials and going back and forth. Aguiar had a really good game.
That's what I heard. I didn't see any of it.
He was missing high on some throws early on, and apparently that was a problem with him at App State and all that. But like Star Thomas, Deshaun Bishop, like really good in the run game. They come out, and Tennessee runs that football, man. But Bishop and Thomas combined for 23, 174, and 3. Now, obviously, Syracuse throws it all over the yard, and they kind of kept it closer than it was, and then finally Tennessee pulled away. But encouraged by the wide receiver, Braylon Staley, who had been dinged up in camp. They weren't sure. He came in 4 for 95 with a touchdown. Some big plays off of that run in the play action. The one note I do want to make before we go, Jermod McCoy, we talked a lot about him in the preseason, reports where he's practicing, tracking to playing. He's not playing, but there was no setback. He's cornerback 1 based off of tape, in my opinion. If he gets back to 100%, we'll see how the season plays out. But we talked a lot about him. I just want to kind of give everyone an update that he's out probably 2 weeks.
Avion Terrell from Clemson played really well.
You throwing that in too? I think you froze, which is why
Avion Terrell played well.
Okay, good. I can't tell if you're just freezing on the Zoom link and you just keep having almost like Tourette's, because all I keep hearing is Avion Terrell played well. Avion Terrell played well.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay. What else you got? Anything?
What about the Ducks?
What about them?
What about the Ducks?
Tell
Ducks
me.
Fly.
How'd they do?
Did you see Dante Moore?
No, but everyone's asking about Dante Moore, so
Crushed
give them their Dante. I didn't watch it.
18 for 23, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kid can throw the ball. I mean, Sadiq had 1 catch, a 20-yard touchdown. Mateo Galile for that name. 2 sacks. Amari, yes, thank you. 2 sacks. Amari Washington, the defensive tackle, who's a stud, tackle and a half for the loss. Fly Ducks fly.
All right, and by next week, folks, we'll hey Tucker, I'm gonna fly you from your posh little warm
It was good until the end.
Up to Derry, New Hampshire, to get this internet fixed for
good
for
until
Mensch.
the end.
I'm looking at this. Does anyone have any questions before we go? Oh, Matt A. Matt A's angry. I think Matt A's a Clemson fan. Nuss doesn't have an elite arm. Isn't big physically. Limited mobility. Isn't a great decision maker. Okay.
You know what he is, Matt A?
When y'all get off the stream, please watch the Cal game. I can't believe this QB is 18. Okay. Yeah, see that Cal freshman? So we got to watch the Cal freshman. So apparently Cal got their quarterback stolen, and they found a pretty good one behind them.
Utah up
Jonathan Caddick. I
20-7 right now.
Well, you're breaking up. So when you're giving reports, it does. Utah's up what?
I got to.
Yeah,
20-7.
20-7. All right. We're done because Mensch's internet said we're done. And it's also 12:30 in the morning. This was fun. We'll be back next week. We got some guests we might have lined up. I'm also going to, I'm not going to bring it up. I talk too much. We'll see you on Monday morning, though. Here we go. Season. You watch your tape. I'll watch my tape. Let's get back on Monday morning and we can do a detailed breakdown of some of the things we saw. We'll break down kind of the quarterback prospects, but also some other prospects and how they played. And and we'll get your internet figured out between now and then. Appreciate everyone joining. We had a good amount of people here for the whole time. And we're excited to keep doing this the entire season long. So we will be back on Monday, and we will be back for this live stream next Saturday. Until then, I hope you're well and enjoy Sunday with your family and friends. Later. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.